dangerous.
Turned up, she turned out. Yeah, she turned. Hey.
Sheesh. Hey, yo, what's good, you guys? It's Boomer with Bolly Star, and today we are going over DJ Academics reacting to Tory Lanez being found guilty on all charges for shooting Megan Thee Stallion. Now, I don't really do much videos like these because I don't like to include myself in these type of situations, you know. Because at the end of the day, I don't really care. It's not affecting me, my daily life. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the excitement of it all. You know what I'm saying? The stories. I mean, I have been keeping up with the stories and all that. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, the whole court case and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Megan Thee Stallion homegirl saying a story. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that being brazy. So it's just like, I just been like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, but I ain't really been invested in all that. But I am going to do the reached verdict. Now, even though I have no dog in this fight, I'm going to reiterate it after I state this. There were pretty much no claims saying that he was really guilty. You know, if there was no DNA on the gun, I mean, you know, there could have been DNA on the gun. I like to listen to it from a witness standpoint because, you know, even though theirs might be like, you know, missing some points here and there, they have the most unbiased view of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't know these people. So it's like, they're just going to tell you what they see. And once one of the witnesses said he saw Tory grab the gun from Megan's homegirl who brought it out initially. So she initially had her handprints on it. He took it away from her, and that also got him in that debacle because now he got his handprints on the gun, but he was shooting it in the air. Now, from there, bullets could have flown back to the ground. I don't know if they bust on the ground or so. Well, maybe some shrapnel could have fallen off of the bullets and hit Meg in the foot or so. I don't know. I don't know that part. But that did happen, and you know, it's not like Tory did it on purpose. But nonetheless, man, there's much bigger things afoot at this, you feel me? That's just what I think. But yeah, man, let's get straight on into it, man. Let's see what Act thinks, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, make sure to leave a like, support the video if you enjoy it. Subscribe if you're new. Make sure to join up with the all-star gang up in this thing. Let's get straight on into it, man. Let's go.
Oh! A verdict has been reached! Oh my God. Let me get a chicken wing and some chat. Let's get me the 300 subs. Somebody said, Akio, you are late. Let me see. Am I missing something? I say go to TMZ. I don't see nothing here. Hold on. Somebody said go to No Jumper. I'm hesitant to do that, but okay, let's do it. Oh. No Jumper is reporting Tory Lanez has been found guilty on all 3 counts. Wow. We're gonna make sure other sources have confirmed the same because they reported something before that was whatever. Let's see what James Quealy says.
Ooh.
By the way, I did say before, if Tory Lanez is found guilty of assault with a semi-automatic firearm, he would get found guilty of all 3. It was either he's going to beat it all 3-0 or he was going to go down all 3. Because based on how these charges were set up, you're either going to believe one narrative or the other. And, yeah. So if you believe the narrative that he shot Meg, you're going to probably agree with the fact that he had possession of the weapon of a concealed weapon in a vehicle. That's one of the charges. Then he also grossly, he was negligent in this.
I mean, given that if it was initially a firearm, then like yeah, prints are all over the firearm anyways if it's been used. You know what I'm saying?
Charging that weapon as well. So it is what it is. Let me see. I'm trying to get other people to co-sign it. I'm trying to get other people right now. Only No Jumper. I'm seeing it. I'm only seeing No Jumper say it. Oh, here we go. Here we go. A jury has convicted Tory Lanez of all 3 charges for the 2020 shooting of Meg Thee Stallion. A crazy and downright scary scene in the courtroom as his father and stepmother screamed about wicked injustice.
I saw this just like a couple minutes before I started this video, bro. I was like, bro, what that like no. Yeah. That's when I found out he was gay. I was like, oh man, what?
Tory Lanez's father stood up and guessed and screamed, "This is a wicked system." He screamed at the prosecutors that they're evil and they know exactly what they did here. His stepmother stood up, screaming and yelling. Father was yelling about Rock Nation. Hey, chat, let me tell you this. By the way, this is very unexpected for me. I will tell you though, at the beginning of this trial, at the beginning of when this all started, I've always just said we should wait until a verdict was actually presented. And just like I told you, obviously I don't know the outcome. I did know the outcome. Whether it was him being innocent or him being found guilty, of course he's going to probably appeal. This is a outcome that we all have to accept. This is an outcome we all gotta accept. I'm gonna be honest with you. All right. So I'm not gonna be the nigga who's gonna be like, oh my God. No, I'm going to be the person who said, listen, those jurors who were in court. Granted, we have gotten a lot of the information supposedly that was presented in court, but for whatever reason, they have all concluded that he is guilty, and I have to say that this is an opinion we gotta respect. Not an opinion, but this is a verdict we have to respect. Let me just see other people who are gonna probably echo the same thing. It looks like that's what it is. Let me see. We're gonna probably see it very shortly. TMZ should have it almost immediately. Yep, here we go. Found guilty of shooting Meg Thee Stallion and facing likely deportation. Tory Lanez is guilty of shooting Meg Thee Stallion in the foot. In 2020, a jury has decided. The verdict came in Friday, just before the holidays, where a group of LA jurors found the Canadian rapper guilty of all 3 charges against him: felony, negligent discharge of a firearm, assault with a semi-automatic weapon, and carrying a loaded and unregistered.
Negligent discharge. That assault is crazy. I don't see the assault.
Firearm. After the verdict was read, several of his family members shouted, calling the jurors evil. Tory was filmed entering the court before the verdict was read, telling the cameras his spirits were high. Tory now faces more than 22 years in prison, which will be determined during a sentencing at a later date. Sources connected to the case tells us Tory lawyers were in touch with immigration officials before the guilty verdict, and we're told that they're being informed that there's a strong likelihood he will be forced to leave the country. This marks the conclusion of a wild 2 weeks in court, which saw a handful of witnesses take the stand to recount what they have saw, or what they say happened on that fateful night. Meg herself obviously testified, squarely pointing the finger at Tory as the sole shooter. Well, as the shooter, she says she saw Tory with a gun, explaining she remembers him firing at her from a Cadillac Escalade, and claims he shouted, "Dance, bitch, dance." Meg Thee Stallion also testified Tory offered her $1 million to keep quiet. By the way, they didn't bring up bribery charges, but that was a testimony, or that was the allegation. Meg was called out by the defense for several items. There's several items. Several items include the fact that she initially wasn't forthright about having an intimate relationship with Tory, and that she initially lied to police about how her feet had gotten injured. The defense also tried to target Meg's ex best friend Kelsey as a shooter, and the reason that she might have shot her was because of alleged creeping behind her back with guys like Ben Simmons and the baby and Tory himself, a revelation that apparently sparked a major argument among all three in the car. What happened in the car was a major source of contention during the trial. While Meg had one version of the events, Kelsey seemed to have a different story, albeit with a very spotty memory on the stand that created a stop-and-go recount under oath. What she did definitively testify on the stand. She was the one that shot Meg, but she wasn't willing to go as far to say as Tory did. But remember, prosecutors were eventually able to get the green light to play a prior interview she'd given in September, and in that recording, she said that Tory shot Meg. That might have been the icing on the cake right there. It's probably that interview, to be honest. Other witnesses took the stand, but none of them were as consequential as Meg and Kelsey, including the guy who supposedly saw the two women fighting from his balcony. Ultimately, he was not definitive about who he saw fire the gun. Physical evidence in the case wasn't that strong. There was gun residue found on both Kelsey and Tory, and inconclusive DNA on the gun itself. Tory never took the stand, and neither did the driver that night, Jaquan Smith. Aside from the cops and a witness to Kylie Jenner's party, that's EJ, that preceded all this, it really boiled down to Kelsey and Meg. In the end, the jury obviously sided with the prosecutor. As for the court of public opinion, the jury's still very much out. People certainly took sides on social media and on traditional media too. But now, it's unclear if their allegiances will change. A long and twisted journey. Finally fucking over. People, I keep telling you, I told you my intent. My intent is to accept the verdict that was given. Gotta accept it. You get what I mean? Did I think there was going to be a different, did I think it was going to be a different outcome? Yes. Definitely thought it was going to be a different outcome. You get what I mean? But if you ask me why this verdict is here, clearly the jury took into account what Meg said and her being the victim. And even though you or me might say, well, she lied before. Oh, she lied before about this, that, and third. The jury found her credible enough to say, we're going to side with her. Kelsey's, her testimony was all over the place. If they used her testimony, they probably didn't use what she said in court. They used what she said in September to the prosecutors.
Damn, that's rigged.
I believe Tory's going to be remanded immediately. He was out on bail, and he was let off house arrest for the sake of the case that he could have a good chance to sit with his attorneys and do what he got to do to get his defense in. You know what I mean? To prepare for this case. He was always on some type of bond, and I believe he should be remanded immediately. And after him being remanded, they're going to go towards sentencing. Unfortunately, he's going to spend, I believe, unless something else happens. I don't know if his lawyer could fucking convince the judge to, hey, listen, just put him on house arrest till sentencing. But I could imagine they would be like, hey, let's remand him now. Right? Posting to Instagram. I'm sorry, guys. Chat. It's over. It's over. It's over. We're probably going to be discussing this, and, we're all going to have our opinions for a long time to come. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be second guesses on Tory's side for a lot of things. I know they say they use what Sean Kelly said, but definitely what Sean Kelly said. Other than that, just my opinion, we thought this was about who's lying, who's not. The jury has basically let us know. Despite what we thought about her character, her quote unquote maybe lying or not having the full information or the truth previously or in interviews or when she went on live or she said, "Oh, I got shot, my back was turned," they believed Meg the Stallion. And even though Kelsey was a nightmare of a co-star witness, the most important witness was the victim. And even if the story didn't make sense to y'all, because you know what their story was, Meg dissed Tory's music and Tory just shot her. Clearly, the jury agreed with it. By the way, I'm pretty sure Tory's gonna like try to file some type of appeal and probably even use the fact that, hey, listen, well, the decision was given on, up against time when there was a holiday. People were just trying to get out of there. Don't know if the jury had enough time to deliberate. I'm pretty sure the judge probably asked them like, "Are y'all sure? We can just go to Tuesday. You guys sure you sure you came to a consensus?" Remember what I told y'all? I felt like the decision was going to be either 40% Tory clean sweep, so him 3-0, or 40% him 0-3. So it is what it is. All right. Yeah, and by the way, listen, let me tell you this. For everybody who, and I know I can speak for myself, right? For everybody who is accused me or thought, this and third. Yes, I do have a personal relationship with Tory. I've never really had a personal relationship with Meg, but Meg does have personal relationships with a lot of people, especially media. To be honest, my stake and my case from the beginning of this trial was just that. Listen, not only am I a man, and I've seen men being accused of things that sometimes were just not true. Sometimes people are quick to judgment. You know what I mean? Listen, do we believe black women? I do, but if there are certain signs that say I should probably reserve judgment, I'm definitely going to reserve judgment. And I know I got super slammed with people just trying to say you should have just believed Meg since day one. No, I'm sorry, that's just not how it goes. Granted, it's going to. I'm not in denial, nigga. So it's going to a trial. They have said, and the jury have said that Tory's guilty. I accept.
Honestly, to me, I feel like it comes down to just try not to be included in those type of situations. You know what I'm saying? As a regular person or as a celebrity, you know what I'm saying? Or a big time figure. Sometimes, you gotta sense those situations coming to you. And there's a firearm involved. You sure you want that type of smoke? I'm just saying, if you're in those situations, think carefully about your conclusions. But your conclusions are your conclusions. You feel me? Because, if you possibly go to court over it, bro, it might not go in your favor. I forgot that one little Wayne bar. It was expecting the worst, but hoping but praying for the best. Not hoping for the worst. That sounds crazy. Expecting the worst. I said expecting the worst, but hoping or praying for the best. You know what I'm saying? Always think what's the worst thing? There's a firearm in the car. Two girls are really really going at it. To where it's one girl grabs a firearm out of the car. Now, if it's my firearm, that'd be a sticky situation because I'm thinking it from Tory's point of view. I possibly would have hurried up and grabbed it from Kelsey, but I would not fire off no shots, bro. grab it out Kelsey's hands and put it on safety real quick. I'm not ringing off no shots, bro. Like, the fighting is already loud enough to wake up the whole neighborhood. So, yeah, I'm not ringing off no shots in that situation. You know? I don't know. Like, you really gotta think, like, carefully, you know? Think like it's a chess game sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Gotta think logically. Gotta try to think logically in situations like those, because I know emotions are high. But yeah, I mean, no. Try not to get yourself caught up in those situations, even if they just come to you like that. Like, I'm like, no, just happen out of nowhere. You know? And if you do happen to be in those situations, chess moves, man. Think how to strategically, you know what I'm saying, go about it or so. But the way you go about it is the way you go about it. You feel me? Because even though, like, it all really seemed like, you know, Tory didn't do nothing, the fact that, okay, what was one of the charges? Disorderly conduct of a firearm or something. Whatever the first one was, I knew that was the shots ringing off and stuff. The assault, I don't know. The third one, what was it, like, unlicensed weapon or something? So I'm like, okay, yeah, I mean, I don't know personally. Could have been registered or something. But, you know, I'm just saying, it's like, even though it all might seem like, you know, you're in high, you know, you're in good spirits about it, you know, like, it might not always go in your favor, man. I always think that way. You feel me? Like, it's about situations and stuff. But, you know, always stay prayed up. You know, hope. You know, sometimes your hope is bigger than can be bigger than your expectations. Sometimes, bro. Those are called miracles. You feel me? But yeah,
the guilty plea. But we do live in a society where it's about innocent until proven guilty. I see how a lot of times certain individuals or certain people from certain genders or races are treated when there's an accusation, and they should be afforded the opportunity to get to this point. If they get found convicted, fine. So now, like, by the way, I'm sure this is going to happen. They're going to take Tory off all playlists. Well, he was just starting to get back playlists. They're removing him. You won't hear a peep from me. You know why? We have at least waited to this point. And that's my whole thing. You know what I mean? I think people really think that I pick sides. But we should wait till this moment. And this moment has came, so now I got no problem. You know what I mean? Of course he's going to appeal. We'll see how that goes. But until, you know, his appeal is successful, he probably should be very cognizant that he's not going to be getting any type of, you know, industry support. Nobody's going to. It is what it is.
All right, you guys. So that was Tory Lanez being found guilty on all charges of shooting Megan Thee Stallion, man. Reacted to by DJ Academics. You feel me? Yeah, man. Y'all let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section down below, man. Y'all know it's Boomer with Bally Star. Make sure you hit that like, support the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new, so that way you can join up with the all-star gang up in this thing. And I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. 100. Boom!
She turned up, she turned out. Yeah, she turned. Hey.
Blunt lighted, it's Bloody Mary. Deep inside it, it's Bloody Mary. You might not know him, but I know Gary. Shout out Gary, Tyler Perry. She said, why you leave me on? I know you don't deserve me. We got icy cold, we were once to Albuquerque. Did me wrong, you don't deserve me. She said that you don't deserve me. Yeah, it goes down in the bar. Girls all flashing, now I'm down in the walls.